Hello everyone, welcome to another video from DNA Bioscience. Today we are going to discuss about autoimmune disease. What does it mean? Auto means self, immune disease means it is related to immune system. We all know that our body immune system protects us from disease and infection. But in case of autoimmune disease, our immune system attacks and start killing our healthy cells by mistakenly. So you can say it failed to distinguish between the self and the non-self cell and start recognizing the non-self cell as a self cell. So you can see in this picture, this is the normal cell. When a foreign antigen comes in contact with the normal body tissues, then the body tissues produce the antibodies to protect themselves. But in case of autoimmune disorder, the body tissue fail to distinguish between the self and the non-self cell. This is the self cell, but the body tissue sense that it is a non-self cell and it start producing the antibodies to protect ourselves. When the antibodies attach to other cell, they cause the inflammation and then cause the disease. When a foreign cell comes in contact with body tissues, the tissue sends the foreign particle and produce the antibodies to protect from infection. That occurs in the normal cell. But in case of autoimmune disease, our immune system attacks and starts killing the healthy cells as it fails to distinguish between self and non-self and start making antibodies of own cells. And the points to remember is, first point is it fails to distinguish between self and non-self. As we have discussed, the body cell, it fails to distinguish between self and non-self and they start recognizing the non-self antigen as a cells and then cause the inflammation that leads to the disease. The next point is, what are the factors that cause the disease? The factors may be genetic, inheritance of the susceptibilities. Inheritance means the transmission of the genetic characters from one generation to another. So the factor may be genetic or it may be infectious. Third point is autoimmune disease affect many parts of the body, generally the joints, the muscles, the skin, the red blood cells, the blood vessels, the connective tissue and the endocrine glands. Then the next point comes is tolerance. What do you mean by tolerance? Tolerance is the immunological non-reactivity to an antigen. It may be self-antigen or non-self-antigen. It is of two types, the central and the peripheral tolerance. We will discuss the tolerance in a separate video. Now let's discuss some examples of the autoimmune disease. First one is rheumatoid arthritis. We have discussed this in type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. It occurs in the joints. Systemic lupus erythematosus also we have discussed in type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. In that, the WBC make antibodies of the own blood cells, and when the antibodies attach to other cells, WBC attack them as if they are the foreign antigen and they cause the inflammation and the redness and the swelling. And when the immune complex form and attack the kidney, they also cause the lupus nephritis disease in the kidney. Then the next is hemolytic anemia. We have already discussed in the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. Due to Rh incompatibility, it caused the hemolysis of RBC in the newborn infants. Next one is multiple sclerosis. It occurs in central nervous system. It is also a type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. In multiple sclerosis, the immune cells, they attack the myelin sheath that surrounds the nerve cell. The antibodies then initiate the myelin injury. The antibodies is then formed and they initiate the myelin injury and cause the activation of the macrophage that leads to the disease. The next point is pancreas type 1 diabetes. It is also an example of type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. It causes the pancreatic cell destruction. And the next one is asthma. As we have already discussed in type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, due to some allergens or some pollens cause the hypersensitivity reaction. And the next one is Hashimoto's thyroiditis. As the name itself indicates that it is a disease related to thyroid gland. It is also an example of type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. It causes hypothyroidism and leads to hard goiter. So this is all about a brief introduction of autoimmune disease, how they kill the cell, how they fail to distinguish between the self and non-self, what are the factors, what are the organs they affect, then the tolerance, then the diseases cause. So this is all about autoimmune disease. It is a very brief introduction. We will discuss about all the details of the autoimmune disease mechanism, the tolerance, then positive and negative selection, and the central and the peripheral tolerance in the next class. So I hope it will help you. Thank you.